we have, in my opinion, the biggest game of the weekend, and that is the Bills versus Ravens. This has a lot of implications in this, from a talking narrative perspective to just legacies, especially Lamar Jackson. So, this you could argue this is a coin flip game. I'm on the side of the Ravens on this one. They're on the
Mm,
road, but I believe the Ravens have the better dudes in this scenario, in my opinion. I
I
believe
agree.
I believe the Ravens offense is a tad better than the Bills, in my opinion. The addition of Derrick Henry, I believe, is the deciding factor. I don't think the Bills can stop Derrick Henry in this rushing attack. I believe Derrick Henry is the biggest X factor in this game, and they're not going to be able to stop him. Lamar Jackson, that last week against the Steelers was phenomenal. Derrick Henry last week against the Steelers was phenomenal. It looked like a statement win that they pulled off that game. And I believe they'll do something similar this game against a Buffalo Bills team. The defense is not all that talented. They have a great scheme, but they just don't have the talent enough to really make it difficult for Lamar Jackson. It's going to be a close game. The Bills are still the number 2 seed. The Bills are still a good team. But I believe in this scenario, we're going to watch and we're going to see why Lamar Jackson, soon to be three-time MVP, why Lamar Jackson is constantly compared to Patrick Mahomes, why Lamar Jackson continues to get all of this criticism about his playoff woes compared to the other guy in Josh Allen. We're going to see the difference between Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, and I believe Lamar Jackson is going to put on a show this game. I believe Lamar Jackson is going to continue to prove the haters wrong. I love what I saw last week. He utilized his legs a lot more. It seems like he learned. I hope I'm not wrong about this. It seems like he learned from the AFC Championship game last year when he did not run the
Mm.
ball. And this year, I believe he's going to just put his ego to the side and not try to prove people that, oh, I can throw from the pocket. Everybody knows you can throw from the pocket. Just win the game. That's all that matters. And I believe they will. What about you?
I'm gonna go with the Baltimore Ravens, of course. I mean, listen, the Bills, they're a good team, but like you said, I'm looking up and down, better dudes goes to the Ravens. Coaching, I like Joe Brady, but Todd Monken, he's really in that same tier, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go with the Ravens for coaching. And from what I've seen recently, the Ravens defense has really started to come around. I got some statistics for you. Since week 13, including the playoffs, by the way, the Ravens EPA defensive EPA is number one in the league, which is over the Eagles at minus 0.166. So the Ravens are super tough defensively now. It took them a while to get there. They wasn't playing like they had last year when they had Mike McDonald, but they really started to come around, and now we starting to see teams not really be able to move the ball against them too much. Marlon Humphrey is still Marlon Humphrey. They getting pressure. Pass rush is showing up. Linebacker play is still good. Roquan Smith commanding that center of the field, and the Bills aren't even top 12 in that span. And usually the statistics say teams that aren't at least top 12 in defensive EPA, they do not make the Super Bowl. And that's just
Mm.
the fact. The Chiefs are on here, of course they are, because devil magic. But yes, I got the Ravens here. I feel like Lamar is better than Josh Allen, in my opinion. Um, I don't see how the Bills defense has a plan to stop Lamar and Derrick Henry. I know they don't have Zay Flowers, but Zay Flowers like the third dude you got to worry about on this team, because and they still have Mark Andrews who can still turn it up at any time, and they still got young. Bateman has really came into his own this season. I'm not really concerned about the Ravens offense being stagnant. I feel like you got way too many options with Lamar and Derrick Henry. it's just man, it's gonna be tough, man. But I still got the Ravens winning. Let me see what the spread and stuff is. It's crazy. In real time, I just seen the spread move from 1.5 to just one for Baltimore. So I'm
The
still
Safe
going over.
Flowers probably is the Safe Flower news.
Oh,
Maybe that's
oh,
why the line moved a little bit.
let me see, because I
But
just checked and say it was doubtful. It still says doubtful. I don't know what happened.
yeah, so here's my thing with the Bills and why I'm concerned for them. It's because of what we saw in the regular season against the Lions and the Rams, I believe, back-to-back games, giving up over 40. Josh Allen was amazing those games, but you have to look at the totality of the team. And the totality of the team tells me that Josh Allen has to be Superman. And if he's not Superman against great teams, he's going to falter every time. And I believe this is going to be a case where the defense is not going to be able to stop Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, and they're going to be able to do whatever they want. I say this about the Ravens offense. It's not going to be because of the Bills defense that they lose. It's going to be because the Ravens offense does something dumb game plan wise. Lamar Jackson decides to stay in the pocket instead of running at certain points of the game. That's how I see the Bills winning. Is more so the Ravens beating themselves than the Bills defense really playing great coverage, pressuring Lamar. That's the only way I could see the Ravens offense really plummeting that game because I just can't find it in me that the Ravens would have much trouble scoring against this Bills defense, especially what we saw in the regular season against the Rams and against the Lions. It just
Remember,
wouldn't make
remember when
sense.
the Ravens played the first play of the game, Derrick Henry took it like 80 yards.
Yeah, and that was like back in the beginning of the season, the first quarter of the season. But they still have problems to this day.
Yeah,
They are a bend but don't break defense, but I think they're going to break this game. And it's going to show its ugly head when they lost all those defensive players that they had from the previous years. The Jordan Poyers, Matt Milano just came back, but he's getting up there in age. All these guys that they really relied on in previous years, now they're not there anymore. And I believe it's going to really show itself this game. And I have the Ravens winning this game. It's going to be fun to watch. Hopefully, Lamar can put on a show. Hopefully, Lamar can prove the haters wrong, and we could put this Lamar versus Josh Allen comparison to bed. So, all right, that will do it for our playoff predictions for the divisional round of the NFL. We are going to move on. Just let me be me.